Hey champs, how's it going? This video, I wanted to do something just a little different. I've seen other people do stuff like this. I'm just going to be a copycat because it's fun and it's personal opinions, and those are fun to do. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go through all the heroes that are released to date, save for Vision and the Sinister, whatever the box is called. I believe that's coming out soon, but I can't wait to get them and throw them in the mix. Do tons of videos on them and all that good stuff. But I wanted to go through released order, the boxes or whatever. They might be in a little bit of different order, like the core box and stuff. But I just want to talk about, my thoughts on them and things I like, things I don't like, and whatever. We'll just have a good time. So we're off the hop. We're starting with Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, out of the core box, there was a few heroes that I really enjoyed. Spider-Man was definitely a hero that I really enjoyed. However, I remember Protection being a little bit lackluster in the core, at least it was for me, outside of Iron Man. Although Iron Man was really good with Justice out of the core box. But when the core box did come out, we only had 4 heroes, and I grinded the hell out of all of them. And I thought they were all great in all of their things, except Spider-Man was a little bit on the weaker side for me, just because, the thwarting being one. The attack was great, but that thwart really sucked. And I don't know, a lot of his kit just seemed like a lot of defending, and I hadn't wrapped my mind around it since, but swinging web kick is still one of my favorite things to do. I still love doing that. I played a recent deck I think I saw online where you run in def focuses and stuff, and you're just like basically playing web kicks for free, which was amazing and is amazing. So I still have a lot of fun playing Spider-Man, and especially with the new stuff coming out with the Spider-Man box set coming out. I'm actually really excited to just get him in there just for some more thematic stuff. But sadly, he wasn't one of my favorite heroes, but I do enjoy playing him. I still think he is a great character now, especially with especially in Protection. He's got so many wonderful things that you can do. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with him. She-Hulk. I was honestly hoping that we got Hulk in the core box. She-Hulk, I don't really, whatever. I'm not a She-Hulk fan necessarily, but she was just cool. She was bringing in some when I play Magic the Gathering, I love being mono red aggression. Just go in there, nuke your opponent down. You got 5 turns at most. The guy's got to go down. Do everything you can. She was able to give me that before I even understood Captain Marvel and what she was about. And how Marvel Champions, I know, is a building your board state, right? Getting everything set up. A lot of people talk about making your first pass through your deck, making it just about building, and then you can get all your cards after that to just explode. But she was able to just give me that feeling of, flipping her, doing 2 damage to the boss, and then attacking for 3. 5 damage felt so strong, I've played this game primarily solo. I've done a couple two-handed games, and even when I first played, I was dabbling in expert and stuff, but standard felt a little bit more my pace. I was able to just jam in games quickly, and I can come up with all kinds of excuses for that, but she gave me a lot of power. And I felt really good with her. I still think she's a wonderful character. I'm interested to play her more so now because of all the new cards that have come out. It's been a little while since I've played her, but she was a lot of fun. And I do remember in the core box, Ultron is always a problem. She always did really good work against Ultron. So maybe that pushed up my reasoning why I enjoyed playing her so much. If I had a favorite character out of the core set, it would have been Iron Man. I loved that gamble. Maybe it's that mono red stuff I'm talking about from Magic the Gathering of just going, okay, well, you've only got X amount of turns before you're going to get thwarted out. I still love playing Iron Man against base Rhino. It's standard, expert, it doesn't matter to me. Just that feeling of I have to wait a turn before I flip, and I hope to get a helmet or something to help with thwarting. And if I'm playing Justice, it makes it a little bit more easier. You don't got to worry about it. But a lot of the stuff that's come out since with tech and in Protection, Iron Man still to this day is one of my favorite characters to play. He feels very thematic, and I love everything about it. Building up the pieces, all that cool stuff. And then I also even love doing just the thematic thing where it might not even be an optimal build, but I'm jamming in as many lightning bolt resources as I can for repulsor blasts. Love it. Absolutely love it. And the thwart ability, you want to talk about, compared to these two cats, getting this guy out and then getting his arc reactor to ready, thwarting for 4, you got heroic intuition out there, 6 a turn, you feel like a god, man. And the amount of HP that you can get back, and I don't know, Iron Man's always been one of my faves. He still is, and I do play him from time to time still. And Black Panther was another one of my favorites. I know a lot of people talked about him. I remember lots of discussions on Facebook, and I think the Discord, might have been like 2 or 3 Discords at the time. It depended where you wanted to flow and, and go in for that stuff. And the conversations started to become this game less about, I argued when this game first came out that it was attracting a lot of board game players. And then over time, in my opinion, it sounds like a lot more people that are into like the competitive card game space started taking over. Those are my people. Those are the cats that I like, because we start talking about this game in a more different way. Hence why I'm trying to get into the expert stuff. It feels a little bit more competitive, we'll say, right? And Black Panther always, he was the one character, like that stat line was okay. I can be flexible with anything with him. The build up, yeah, it felt a little bit cumbersome, but I tell you right now, man, being able to retaliate and defend was great. And in the early days of learning how to chump block and stuff, it was a little bit different. But Black Panther still, to this day, I enjoy playing him all the time. I'll never say no to a Black Panther build. Captain Marvel took me a long time to warm up to. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the energy channel. Like, I love energy channel, right? Like, you can just build it up and nuke for 10. Very Hulk smashy, we'll say, right? But it just took me a long time to get into Captain Marvel, and I feel like that was a big mistake, because out of the core box, undoubtedly, I think in hindsight, she's the best character in the whole box. She's got to be up there in like the top 5 at least of characters in the game currently, in my opinion. Just the amount of flexibility she has and all that stuff. I keep talking about the core box when it came out, but when it did come out, a lot of these characters, like let's say Spider-Man, Iron Man, Black Panther, I've read their comics. She-Hulk, I know about her, but I'm sort of still thinking more Hulk. You know what I mean? And half of the fun when I played this game in the beginning was playing characters I liked and I knew. Captain Marvel, I didn't know anything about. I didn't like, very uninteresting character for me. So I didn't really gravitate towards her. Now that I've played this game enough, and it doesn't even matter anymore. I'm learning about new characters and all that, but what doesn't matter from a card play perspective in a card game, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Then we get into my favorite superhero of all time, Captain America. I was super excited for this guy to come out. When the new content was coming out, I mean, I was grinding games, guys. Like, I'm sure most of you do. I don't know. Like going back to what I was saying, I found that when I was having discussions with people, and this is what I was talking about, there's board game people and the card game people. Some people like me that were treating this more like, I guess, Magic the Gathering or whatever. And if you play Magic the Gathering, you're playing lots of games. And I was grinding games. I played probably, and I'm not trying to gloat or anything like this. It's not like a massive achievement. Just how interested I was in the game. I probably played close to, I think it was, I was logging these gameplays too at the beginning. I've stopped since. It was probably within the first 6 months, it was easily 200 games. Easily. And I still loved it. I didn't care if I was playing Rhino again or Claw, Expert, all that good stuff. It was awesome. When I saw Captain America, I'm like, yes, please, more. Once we got him, I was in love. He's still probably my favorite character to play in the whole game. Outside of actually Hulk, which we'll get to, which is it might be surprising to some, but Captain America, there's not much to say that people haven't talked about already. He can do anything. He's very flexible. You can get control of the board, control of the game relatively quick. I don't want to say he's like an autopilot kind of character, but he's very comfortable to me. Also, I believe he was like the first character to come up with like a stun lock deck, which now we're getting into concepts that you can do against opponents and stuff. And it started feeling, again, you're gonna hear a lot of what I say from this video and other videos from Magic the Gathering, because that's my background. But now we're getting into play styles, right? Like we had some burst kind of, and then now we're getting into just stun lock control. Wonderful. Captain America, again, to this day, is still somebody that I absolutely adore playing. Now, Miss Marvel, when she came out, again, this was falling in line with one of those things where I'm like, I don't know these characters that well. I do not care. I don't care. However, I would say she was the first one to open up the door for me to go back to look at She-Hulk and Captain Marvel a bit. It was sort of getting past the aesthetics of like what I knew and what I was comfortable with. And seeing how flexible she was, again, this to me was playing more with what we just said with Captain America, where it was like, now I'm getting builds, man. Like, I can start recurring. This is awesome. We had make the call and stuff, but we can recur stuff that you just play. It might not be in graveyard, but you can get it back, and it was awesome. She's at least top 5 character, I would imagine. I'm sure I'll do like a top 10 at some point, right? But she's still up there. She's an amazing character. Absolutely love her. I've seen some stuff. I've played some decks that I know Steve Steve from Beat the Game, he does a lot of decks. I like to swipe a lot of his stuff because he makes fun decks. But yeah, it's amazing. Just seeing what she could do. I think one of them was like a Justice deck. She's got that one where it's I forget the name of the newer cards. They're not even that new, but they came out with like the Scarlet Witch pack with clear the area. I don't even know if that one was in that or if that was a different one, but clear the area, and then the one where once all threats removed from a scheme or the main scheme do 3 damage, and she's able to bring that back, just massive amounts of damage. Oddly enough, I feel like that same kit you can replace with the Scarlet Witch pack, and they both run like absolute beasts. Anyway, Miss Marvel, love her. Now, Thor was a character that I enjoy a lot playing now. When he came out, I felt he was super weak, which is funny because he's got, the same kind of garbage we'll say about Hulk, although I would argue his kit's a little bit, well, definitely better. Thor just took a time, like, for me to get on board with him. And I think Thor was probably one of my characters that I was like a growing pains sort of thing, falling in line, not necessarily with Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, but just that he requires setup and some intellect to play, in my opinion, right? Like, you could play him and just go, okay, here's my hammer, I'm going to smack stuff, throw it around, and, all that stuff. But once I started to think about things a little bit more, especially an expert player or whatever, and thinking about, like, the next turn or things like that, the flexibility in how he runs became enjoyable. And he's definitely one of the characters I really enjoy playing now. However, I will say I've noticed that I'll only, like, if I want to play a Thor deck, right, I have to maximize the have-at-the ability. So I go out of my way to, whenever I pick a villain, I have to include some sort of modular no matter what they're playing, or if I have to replace what they're playing with minions, right? That part kind of sucks. I do feel like a lot of these other characters, like, or pretty much any of them, I can pick whoever I want and just grab a villain and just play him. Thor, if I'm not playing against minions, he stumbles a lot. And then, I don't know, he just doesn't become as fun for me, but Thor's Thor. He's good stuff. Black Widow is a character I haven't played too much with. Stat line's amazing. The only reason I don't play her as much, and I do want this to change. That's one of the beautiful things about me trying to make a channel here and start some stuff up. I'm just playing games to play them, right? So I get to play more of the game I like. The thing is with Black Widow, the games that I did play with her when she first dropped, they took forever. I wasn't used to playing games that took so long. And in hindsight, like even now, I notice expert games, they take longer than standard for the most part, because you got to think more, right? You got to flip down more often and stuff like that. But I've seen wonderful decks with Black Widow that I'd like to try. I've seen people play this kind of stuff where you just say an alter ego. You don't even go to hero form. That blows my mind. I'd like to play something like that one day. But she's got some really good cards, obviously. And a lot of people talk high praises about Black Widow. But again, it's just a lack of experience, and she's probably going to bump up on my list of characters to play new decks with. But again, like when I put her next to like some of these other characters, like I'll always pick Captain America over Black Widow, or friggin' any of these characters over Black Widow. It's just not interesting to me. But again, that's the beauty of the game. Keep playing more. Good old Doctor Strange. I know he's overpowered. I don't care. He's an amazing character to play. I find him absolutely fun. I like the fact that, to me, my brother, who's also in the Magic the Gathering, he is a control player. Blue-white, blue-black, whatever, blue, what is it, white, black, and blue, whatever colors of control or whatever the meta is for the current set that's out. He loves Doctor Strange because of that power it gives you. He has that feeling of control. And again, if I'm mirroring what I'm talking about over here, that's why I enjoy playing Doctor Strange as well. Just having a character that's able to establish control relatively quickly, and then the whole... And it's hard for you to lose with Doctor Strange, but it's possible. I've lost. But how you're going to maximize your hands, super duper fun. There's not really much else to talk about him. He's a character that still stands out from anybody else. But I don't knock him for that. I enjoy him because he's, to me anyway, extremely, extremely fun to play. This guy's probably my favorite character to play outside of like Captain America. Why? I'm not sure. I'm a Hulk fanboy. I enjoy the Hulk. Hulk Smash is awesome, but it feels like it's missing some Hulk juice and energy into it. I'm not going to lie. I know his kit doesn't feel very, in my opinion, thematic to Hulk. Where's Betty, right? Where's Betty? Where's any kind of gamma stuff. Like, where's the radiation stuff? Where's the conflict between him and Banner? You know, like, I feel like there's some things that, and you know, I'm not making the game, so I'm just coming up with what I feel like. But Hulk doesn't feel like somebody that is smashing a lot and doing a lot of things. He feels like he's rounded out a bit. You know, suborbital leap. That doesn't make sense to me. It's a cool card, but it doesn't make sense to me. And all the restrictions to Fist, it just, to me, it feels like there's a lot of restrictions put on Hulk that require him to play a certain way that doesn't make sense. Hulk is a mindless, sometimes, depends what you're reading, a mindless destruction bot, right? Or not even just destruction, he's just powerful. And that needs to be represented, and I mostly don't feel that way with Hulk. But why I enjoy playing him is because he does have turns that does make him feel like the Hulk. He does have turns where, one of the things I did, I saw a deck on Marvel Cards DB. I don't play a campaign. Campaign play to me is very boring. However, I saw a deck and I had to try it, which was playing, I think it was standard. Expert, I don't know if this would work, probably not. But because of the way the health pools are, is going through the Red Skull campaign box with a Hulk rush deck, and you're just playing smashes as fast as you can, mulliganing, getting everything you can to smash. And I cleared that campaign in maybe 40 minutes. Maybe an hour, hour and a half with all the shuffling and stuff like that. That to me is awesome. I'm not saying Hulk needs to blow past everybody, but the fact that he is able to do that, and I don't know if there's any other characters that can do it that fast. So to me, maybe the main thing that I love about the Hulk is, like I said in the beginning with She-Hulk, is I'm a mono red player, and Hulk lets me do that with that risk. When you're playing burst aggression, you're sacrificing control and you're up to whatever your opponent's doing. That feeling that's what I get with Hulk, that feeling. That's why I love him so much. Is he reminds me of playing red in Magic. And I will love him forever for that, for the pros and cons. Hawkeye is a character I haven't really played too much with. I have tried. He feels like, oh my goodness, like he feels almost like Iron Man in a lot of ways, where he needs some serious setup. But it's not just that he needs that setup. It's, I don't know, man. Like, it's just got to be my inability to play characters or something. But he's just, I need certain cards to come up. If I don't get that quiver, I almost feel like, I was going to say Thor, but almost Hulk level. Like, if I don't get that quiver out, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just reacting until I can sort of get set up. Where a lot of other characters feel like they can kind of at least keep pace. I don't know why he has an ability where, you know, he can't just play his, is it play the bow for free, or is it you have to go get it? Spend one resource of any type to search your deck for, like, why? Why? This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of decisions, and I don't know, I'm sure these could be answered if you talk to the developers, but it's like, why hamstring him to make him go get a bow? He needs the bow. You know what I mean? Like, Thor, get your hammer. Don't even worry about it. Cap, get your shield. Don't even worry about it. Hawkeye's got a bow. Give him his bow. So anyway, I got problems with Hawkeye, but it's weird because Hulk feels more restrictive, but for whatever reason, to me, he's more thematic to what I enjoy. So I'm okay putting up with it. But anyway, Hawkeye. Maybe one day we'll get some more plays. I know in the earlier videos of this channel, I did I think 2 videos of them, and he can be a lot of fun. I know that he's kind of got some Thor qualities with, like, nuking multiple things, which is a lot of fun. Just, he's not one of the people I gravitate towards. Speaking of people I don't gravitate towards, Spider-Woman, I have a lot of fun with her decks with her. I just don't like deck building for her. Maybe that'll change, you know, once we keep going with where I'm going with all this expert stuff. But we'll see how she goes. I want to try to speed this up here. I don't want to go too much longer and waste too much of your guys' time. But she's a very powerful deck. I love her kit. It's very thematic. It's very fun. I'm sure a lot of people have already played this, but there's like a Voltron deck with her where you play Captain Marvel, sorry, and you just load her up and you let her do all the work while she does her the cards from her kit. I have a lot of fun. I think she's a great character. Now, these two I'll do at the same time. Ant-Man and Wasp. Again, I haven't played too much with these guys. I've played enough to say that I much prefer Ant-Man over Wasp. Wasp is a character I've probably played, honestly, like 3 games, maybe 4. So I think I would put her at the same ranking as Black Widow. A lot of people love her. Maybe it's just grabbing a different deck or just playing some more with her just to see how she feels. Ant-Man feels more thematic to me. He feels like he makes a lot more sense than Wasp does. I'm not sure why, but between the two, I'll always pick Ant-Man over Wasp. A lot of his cards, they just feel cool. And again, it could just be because I'm more familiar with the character. I don't know. But when you get Army of Ants, like that always feels good. Quicksilver, I am a massive fan. There was a deck that came out that was like build up as much as you can and you just swing for like 50 or I don't know what the number was, 50, 60, 70 damage, something nuts in a turn. Lot of fun. He felt a lot of ways like Captain America does to me, where I can pretty much do whatever I want. You get friction resistance out there, and all of a sudden I'm like on top of the world. Massive fan of this character. I haven't played him in a long time. I'm not quite sure why. Might be because he does require a little bit of a setup, just to be able to do what he wants. But again, his thing, same with like Captain America and Miss Marvel, when they came out, they started introducing new strategies, a way to play. To me, being able to defend twice on a turn was just like, oh, I can defend every turn regardless. Awesome. Which means I'm going to ready on my turn, and I always have that ability. That's a massive win. This character here, Scarlet Witch, to me is one of the best characters in the game. I have a lot of fun playing her, again, with that Justice deck I was talking about. I love her being able to manipulate the boost cards and stuff. She grinds through decks so fast, though. But she is very powerful. I have a lot of fun when I play her. Building can take a little bit of work, but it's worth it every time. I'm always a fan of play Scarlet Witch. But again, there's other characters that I enjoy playing more just from a thematic standpoint. But yeah, nothing to complain about Scarlet Witch. She's great. Groot. Okay, so now we're into the Guardians block. There's a lot of characters here I just don't relate to, and I just don't find fun. So I have an assumption that I'm going to start playing a lot of these characters that I don't really play a lot of because, I want to appreciate all these cards. But Groot feels like a literal tree. He feels so slow that, like, I'll play Hulk. Like I've already said, I'll play Hulk over anybody, but, like, at least Hulk does stuff. Groot, I always feel like I'm trying to get counters on him, and they're always going away, and that's the battle. It's like I'm fighting myself with this character. Like some of these other characters, like Hawkeye and Hulk, I put them, to me anyway, I put them kind of in that category where it's like, God, like I'm just trying to get counters going so I can do stuff. So, it's going to be one of those things. I think I just need to play more Groot. I hear a lot of people like him. I just haven't had a lot of fun with them. And if I'm not having fun, then it's like, I'm not going to, I feel like I don't want to pick a character up again, but I don't know. He seems like, he's cool. Like Groot's cool. It's just, I don't know. I need to play more. Rocket Raccoon, however, I played more than Groot, and I really enjoy. Again, you want to talk about building up brand new scenarios with decks and cards and stuff? That overkill stuff that he does, that's a lot of fun. You want to talk about building up, and again, it's like playing with Thor, where you want minions, because not always, but like it definitely makes him feel more like he's doing more than, nothing, I'll say, right? Like some of his stuff, to be able to just overkill stuff and then hit the boss that way, I think is actually really cool. It's a different way to play the game. And yeah, I enjoy Rocket Raccoon, but again, it's like I don't have that attachment to the character to want to just explore him more. Star-Lord feels a little bit more like Mono Red to me as well, with a mix of white. I forget, what was it, Boros, for those that actually care. But he feels a little bit more like, there's obviously that risk that's going out there. He doesn't burst right away, but he will, and when he does, it's massive. I've had a lot of fun with Star-Lord. I've played him in a few multiplayer games. I primarily play solo, like I said, like that's pretty much 99% of the time. But there are times when I get together with a couple, a couple friends and my brother, we play. They don't like it when I play Star-Lord because of the obvious putting bad cards out. But in solo play, I enjoy him. He's got a lot of flexibility. Gamora is a character I haven't played too much of, and I hear a lot of people saying she's amazing. And again, I'm going to put her at the same boat as, like, maybe not Groot, definitely not Groot, but maybe more Black Widow-ish in terms of, like, her deck's fun. She does a lot of, like, things back and forth, but when I just look at Gamora, I'm not interested. And I think that might be a problem with a lot of the characters, right? Like if I'm not having that, I've read a Hulk comic, I've read a Captain America comic, Gamora and Guardians, Guardians is like when the MCU movies came out is when they became popular, to me anyway. So it's like I'm not familiar with them outside of that, and I still have very little interest in them. But from a purely card game perspective, they appreciate more of they require and they deserve a little bit more time than I've actually put into them. But Gamora's up there as definitely somebody that I should be playing more. And the same goes with Drax. I've read things where people are saying they just reword this guy, like rename him to Hulk, because this is how Hulk should be played. I don't agree. I think people say that because they don't like Hulk. Granted, I understand that, but Drax has been fun. I've actually had a lot of fun with him. He feels like he's got a lot of flexibility and some tools that he can do stuff with. Mantis is amazing. I love Mantis, getting Mantis out there. Gives Drax more breathing room. But again, just, He's a green guy with swords and he's angry all the time. I'll just take the angry green guy with no swords. What an awful way to describe it. Now, Venom is probably the character I've played the most out of that saga. He's amazing. I don't like this version of Venom. The Venom that we have coming up in the Spider-Man box set, I wish it was that Venom. I understand why they did it, right? So you could have the two and blah, blah, blah. But, like, Spawn Venom, I don't really care for. I don't want guns on my Venom and stuff. Like, but that's just the thematic stuff. To me, it's almost like I was just talking about renaming him. If this guy said Punisher, he'd feel more on character that I know the Punisher from, even though I know this Venom exists and all that. But anyway, Venom has been an amazing character. I love getting Shadows of the Past with him, just getting those symbiotes in. Feels very thematic. I love all of that. I love, my brother actually loves this guy a lot too. Just having like the spider senses mixed in there and his ability to right here, you know, like take a damage to generate a wild resource. Insane. I've had a lot of fun with the decks that he makes. He's a great character to play. Adam Warlock, that tutor deck that's out there, highly recommended. A plus. I feel very overpowered with this guy too. Not Doctor. I feel like this is where Doctor Strange probably should have been power level wise. Not like, don't give him another deck. Don't give him a spell deck. But he feels very, you know, like he can tutor. He can get. He can ready. He can do all kinds of stuff, right? Like this feels more like a spellcaster. He feels more like how Doctor Strange should have been, in my opinion. I'm a massive Adam Warlock fan. I hate this artwork. I don't like this design on Adam Warlock. I like the more classic stuff. Neither here nor there. Adam Warlock is a fantastic character. Again, I don't like deck building for this guy at all. I'll let other people build decks for him off, what is it, Marvel Cards DB, Marvel CDB, and I'll play your deck. But I'll always enjoy playing an Adam Warlock deck. Spectrum came out. I got her, I think, a little bit late. Did I get her late? No, she came with the box set, but yeah, I think I was just more interested in Adam Warlock. Spectrum, I played a few games. She seems fine. A lot of people say she's very overpowered, or not overpowered, but very strong. I don't have an opinion. I haven't played her enough. Maybe we'll get some more gameplay in there. Again, I have no relation to this character, so I have no interest in playing her. So a lot of this stuff I have to just look past the artwork to want to get to play. And half the fun for me, right? Like if I'm going to sit down and play expert, I'm gonna play. I want to get some thematic. I want a little bit of thematic juice. You know, I'm playing Thor. I want a lightning strike every now and then. Spectrum, I don't know what you do. You shoot some blasts. You're kind of like Captain Marvel, I guess. I don't know, but that's some of the reason why some of these characters I'm just not playing. But you know, whatever. Now this character, I strongly dislike. I dislike Valkyrie more than Hulk, man. If I had to pick like the character I don't like at all, who do we got left? Like if I could pick any one character released so far to just totally get rid of and try again, please, it would be Valkyrie. I just don't enjoy her at all. I'm not sure why. I think the Death Glow, it feels like it's such an investment for like it's another one of those cards that for me anyway feels more punishing than it is rewarding. For cards that I want to use, I need to set up first. And that sucks, man. Like I understand some characters need like a setup, you know, like you need something to be able to do other things. I get it. But like that Death Glow, you know, attaching to something to kill it so that you can get rid of threat. Like that that's two checks, man. I need Death Glow on the thing. I need something to target it with. Same thing with the damage and all that. I don't know. It's just not it feels maybe she's better in multiplayer. You guys let me know. For those of you that primarily play multiplayer, maybe she's better in that. But like currently, I have, you know, I don't know. Like I doubt I'll maybe in the future. You know, like some of these characters, like I said in the beginning of the game when it came out, whatever. But as more cards came out, they became much more enjoyable. Maybe she'll be that way too. You know, like Hulk's gotten a lot better. I'm not going to deny that. Thor's gotten, for me anyway, a big boost in just enjoyability. So maybe she'll go like that. But right now, like, no thank you. War Machine has been a ton of fun. A friend of mine, I don't think he's had much success with him, but you know, Shoulder Cannon is insane, dude. Like that is a great card. I love War Machine. I don't have a problem with him. He's a little expensive. I find like most of these that the game is a setup game, right? You got to set it up, but just being able to like kind of I don't want to say tutor, but like you can get your guns ish, you know, like you can find ways of getting the ammo counters up. The thing is that I like about War Machine is something that I wish maybe Groot had a little bit more of, which was, you know how you get like the bunker to keep getting counters, like just something to like grow. Maybe Groot. I know Groot has. I think there's like an upgrade or something out there, support that he has, right, where you can give him one every turn, or when he's an alter ego or something like that, or one or two. It's been a little while since I played him, but I don't know. War Machine to me just feels way more enjoyable. Yeah, and then the last card in all of this here is Nebula. I've had a lot of fun with Nebula. She's another one of those characters I don't... Actually, I think I got the order wrong here. Wasn't it Nebula, War Machine, then Valkyrie the way it came out? Doesn't matter. But Nebula, anyway, she's fun. I do like she reminds me a little bit of playing like a control deck a little bit, where you're playing stuff and then you have to assess what's out there and then kind of time it. You know, like, okay, when am I going to pull the trigger to like do X things? You know, and I don't mind it at all. I think it's a lot of fun. But again, I don't really care about Nebula to just go, I got to make a Nebula deck. Like, there's not cards that are, or I haven't seen cards that have come out, or I've looked through my collection and go, oh man, I need to mix this with this so I can get a Nebula deck. It's just never crossed my mind. And again, it might just be because it's like a character I don't really mess with, you know? But like, if I was just like super quick, right? Like, let's say, hey, Power Pickle, I want you to pick, you know, we're going to grab your friends and whatever you want to do. Play three-handed solo. What do you want to pick, right? So if I were to just quickly narrow this down, I'm just going to grab like characters that, you know, I really enjoy playing, just that are like here. And then we'll sort of narrow this mess down here. See if we can make like a really nasty, you know, top 5 without any thought really put into it. You know, that's how you want to do top 5s. Yeah, the rest of these characters is like, I'm looking at them and I'm just quickly glossing over them. So let's just put those to the side. So these are what we're nailing it down to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I had to start whittling these down, right? Like if I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, who are we axing first from this? My eye keeps going to these two. I'm going to get rid of Venom. I enjoy Venom. But, you know, sorry. Miss Marvel, like I know, like these two, I have loads of fun with. Which one do I like more? I feel like I like Miss Marvel. I don't know. She's got flexibility with some decks. I've played a lot. She feels very, I'll say, overpowered, just like more controlly. Like she doesn't take as much damage. Or Scarlet Witch can have some like swingy kind of turns with the setup. I don't know. I think I'd go like this. This would be my top 5. I will play these guys over anybody else. Whoops, let's bring it over here so you guys can see it. I'll play these guys day in, day out. I just love them so much. If we had to keep whittling it down from here, I'll say Miss Marvel, just to get her there. No, let's see if we can get to a top one, right? I almost feel like I never want to get rid of Hulk. I guess we'll get rid of Iron Man here. Wow. You want to see something nuts? You want to see something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense? We're doing this. Now, if it was between these two, yikes. God, like I feel like if I leave Hulk, it's just because I'm trying to make a point how fun he is for me. But Captain America is my guy. That's my superhero. You know, like if I had to pick somebody, it used to be Hulk back in the day, but now with Cap, I've had so much fun with him, the stun lock and all that. But that burst, if I had to, you know, if I'm being objective, I think I would go down to Captain America. I know I'll have at least a chance at winning every game with Captain. Hulk, you can get in, not that you can, but you will get into a snowball thing where if you don't kill, it's just too much for him to come back from. So there you go. Hope you guys had some fun with it. I had a lot of fun talking about this stuff, a little trip down memory lane. But yeah, we'll do some more later with some other guys and some other girls as more content comes out and all that good stuff. I'm going to do another one as well with the villains, and we'll talk about those as well. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.